Hello friends. So today the third part of the video, just based on your queries about note making and the writing section. I hope all of you have made full utilization of the first two parts of the video. So just straight away starting up with it. As I told you, we'll be covering up note making today and writing skills. So just little bit word about unseen passage for comprehension also. So this video is going to cover 60 marks of your English core exam. Now just the first question, which is unseen passage for comprehension, is for 20 marks now, and I have already discussed about this, the writing style, the presentation, how you are going to do for this in my first video. So just trying to tell you certain more things. When you are attempting the answers, please lift the answers, don't try to frame the answers if it becomes a difficulty, because the CBSE marking scheme says that no marks are deducted for grammatical or spelling errors. You may make grammatical mistakes, you may make spelling mistakes, although try to avoid. But even if you are making it, don't let that put you into stress. Fine, you may even lift lines for the answer also. As I told you in the first video, that you don't have to understand the passage. You just have to understand this is the question, this answer is going to come in for this question. So if you want, you can straight away lift it and you can write it. Okay, so now moving on to note making, which is a common problem for all of you. Note making, as you know, is 2.1 of the question. 2.2 is summary, which is the elaboration of the note making. Now it is for 10 marks. Earlier 8, 5 and 3, now 5 and 5. So note making categorically gets divided into three things. One is title, the other is content, and the third is the key, which has the abbreviations. Now title, already told you in the first video, has to be not a single word. It has to be a phrase, it has to be 3 to 5 words. Fine. Then we move on to the content. The content, which is, if you remember the layout I gave in that video, which has to be in the indenting format. So it should have minimum 3 and maximum 5 main points taken from the passage. Then one thing you need to remember is this part of the paper, note making, this is not to be grammatically correct. Means don't write complete sentences. Use phrases, not sentences. Okay. Then avoid repetition. Avoid repetition means at times the passage is a long one. It has many examples. It has somebody telling, somebody speaking about that particular thing, so and so said within inverted commas. So those quotations, examples, endless examples should not be taken. They should be avoided. Follow indenting uniformly. I have been getting various queries, ma'am, this to do or that to do in indenting. See, you people must have been taught note making in your school. So whatever you feel appears to be a good and presentable pattern, pick it up. But remember, indenting is this, or further this and this. So please follow the indenting uniformly. Should not happen that here the point is this side of the margin, next point goes here, which generally happens with the children. So this is wrong. Remember, it should remain here. This should remain one under the other. It should not waver. That uniformity will fetch you 1 mark. So here there has to be no digression here or there. You have to remain focused to the point. So follow indenting uniformly. Use standard abbreviations and symbols within the note making. Standard abbreviations, for example, limited, registered, positive, negative, rise in something, fall in something, leads to something, is equal to something. Okay, so standard abbreviations are acceptable, standard signs and symbols are acceptable. Then you can also have self-made abbreviations. The way you people must have seen at times when you are copying down notes in your class, it's very difficult to match up the speed. So you have devised your own abbreviations for yourself, coined them for yourself. So those self-made abbreviations, which are generally made by taking the main sound of a particular word. Example, EDN, education, PROGM, program, or for example, what I kind of do for myself when I'm writing down my notes, ANTH. Once upon a time, I shortened it to anything. My work became very easy because anything and then I have something. Okay, and similarly we can do for anybody, ANBD, somebody, everybody. So these are those kind of things which when you use once, it is clear to you that this is what I've used. You also should not get confused or misled about whatever you are doing. Then we move on to the key to the abbreviations. So these abbreviations which we are using will be put in the key, and we will have minimum 4, maximum 6 abbreviations in the key. Okay, minimum 4 and maximum 6. The summary will be for 100 words. Okay, I told you earlier the word limit has been increased because 2 marks have been added to it. Summary 100 words. Now, when we are writing the summary, again a query that came up in your comments was how to write the summary. Do we have to take the line from the passage or we don't have to take? So, just remember this, develop your notes into the summary. Whatever notes you make in these 3 to 5 main points, you have to develop that into a summary. I'll just explain it to you with one simple example. This note making passage and the summary, forget it. I give you an example that today there is a workshop being conducted in your school. Okay, you people are told to take a notebook and a pen with you and jot down the points, the key points about the workshop. It is very obvious you will not take down different examples or a joke cracked by the person who's conducting the workshop. You will jot down the key points in a broken manner, because matching speed when a person is talking is impossible. I hope you got the point. The crux has to be taken down because those notes are for yourself. They are a bit informal, but this is for exams. So little bit uniformity has to be there. Okay, so you attended the workshop, you took down your points. Now when you come back, the teacher says, please give me a write-up of whatever you understood in the workshop. So what will you do? Now the workshop that you attended, the session, is like the passage. When the workshop is gone, can you go back to the workshop to lift up sentences straight away from there? Will you remember any particular sentence? Something very striking you'll remember, but first word to the last word, we cannot. That is what your passage is like, the second passage. You've read it, you've converted to the notes, like the workshop, like the seminar, like whatever lecture, it is gone. So what remains is this. So on the basis of your paper, you will develop into a paragraph. So that is why your notes to be developed into the summary. I hope the confusion is quite clear now. Only your notes, the passage is not there for us, it is gone. That is what we need to tell ourselves. Our notes, our own language is going to be taken in the summary. Then another query was, do we have to change a paragraph? No, summary is one single paragraph. One single paragraph. Then here we wrote that we have to write phrases and not sentences. But in this case, complete grammatically correct sentences. Summary will not have abbreviations, symbols or phrases or grammatical mistakes. Summary has to be absolutely correct grammatically for you to be able to get those full marks. Your language within the word limit and grammatically correct sentences is what will fetch you marks in the summary. Then another thing is third person. Third person, why? Because first person means no quotations and all have to be written here. Children, some of them are in the habit of after this going back to that passage and taking the lines. It is not to be taken, it has to be third person. Even if some person is giving his own account of something, when I am writing, it is not my experience that I am writing. Somebody else's write-up I am taking up. So it has to be third person and indirect speech and past tense. Just remember these things when you are writing, because many queries were coming up. So I am highlighting these points again and again. See, it's just one paragraph. Don't be too stressed, let it flow. Because if we stress ourselves about a particular thing, that is where we tend to go wrong. So here I have a solved note making for you so that you can follow the tips. All your queries can get settled through this. I have actually done the layout the way you are supposed to do in your paper. Now this is question 2.1 of the paper. 2.1 note making. Okay, this is what I was telling you. So this is your margin and you will assume that the other side also has the same kind of margin. Okay, now title, tests of life. 2-3 words, 4 words, not a single word. Then you can just read it for yourself. We'll give a screenshot of this for you so that you can see it on your own later on. importance of tests, then the abbreviated forms. I've underlined the abbreviation so that they can get highlighted for you people. If you want, in your exam, you can also do it. Okay, it will make the task of the examiner easier for you. Then this is the uniform pattern. Whether you use one or you use the Roman numerals or alphabets, it's fine, but then use a uniform pattern. That is what is required. Consistency needs to be maintained. So this you can go through different main points, then the sub points 2, 3, 2. That is how it has to be there. Then the fourth main point and the sub points. Next is key to abbreviations. So this will fetch you 1 mark, this will fetch you 1 mark, the indenting format will fetch you 1 mark, rest 2 marks are for the content. So we have covered it. Whatever were the key points, we have taken them. After that, key to abbreviations, the abbreviation and the words. So the abbreviations we used, we've written them here, and this is the elaborate form, the actual word which was abbreviated. So this is an example of your complete note making. Okay, so now this is your summary. Question 2.2 summary, the 5 mark part of question 2 now. This is your margin, this is your margin. One query that came up was, when margin is already given, do we have to make it again? No, the margin that is given, you have to consider that. On the other side, if you can see the margin being reflected from the other page, fine, otherwise draw it for yourself, or as I told you, fold the sheet to make the margin. So this is the margin on both the sides of the sheet. So if you see the note making, we have picked up points from there and we have made complete sentences out of that. The tests of human life, like illness and suffering, build human character. The simple people view disability and failures positively. No abbreviations here, no broken sentences here, no grammatically incorrect sentences here. Okay, this you can continue. I've just stopped it here. You can continue from the note making. Now, one more thing, the word limit has to be maintained. Okay, 100 words. Second thing is, there are some people, some children, what they do is, rather than putting a full stop here, they add a conjunction, though, although, but, even though. Please don't do it. It's a small one paragraph that needs to be written. Okay, so if we add on conjunctions, at times what children do is, in one single sentence, in 2 sentences, the paragraph gets completed, which is wrong. For you to maintain the rhythm after adding another conjunction becomes at times difficult. Use simple sentences, small sentences, so that it becomes easier. One more thing is, if you follow the CBSE marking scheme, the CBSE guidelines, the title needs to be written here or there. You have to mention the title. One more query, title we have to make or it will be given. If it is given in the passage, on top of the passage, please take it. If it is not given, create it. Same title can be taken, it is absolutely correct. You write it on top of the note making, you write it on top of the summary, fine. But the CBSE says if you write here or you write on top of note making, both ways you get 1 mark. But preferable is, don't let the note making go without the title. Okay, so if you write it here, it's absolutely correct. There is no mistake to that. So the title, grammatically correct sentences. Okay, there was one more query. This child asked me, ma'am, if the title that I make, it does not correspond to the title in the marking scheme, then what will happen? So I am giving this statement to you people, just telling you one thing. On the basis of the CBSE marking scheme, it very clearly mentions, not only for this question, but for your writing section and literature also. They give the value points. Okay, the value points are given by the CBSE, but after that CBSE says within brackets, please accept any other relevant or valid point. Because this is a subjective paper, what is my viewpoint may be different from your viewpoint or anyone else's viewpoint. So your viewpoint is respected. Only thing is, this question, any other question, you have to make it a valid kind of a thing that you are writing, not that something haphazard you are writing. So your title may not be similar to the CBSE marking scheme, but as long as it corresponds to the passage, it is absolutely correct. So this is section A, which I catered to in this video, and 30 marks we have taken care of. And just one thing, that many requests are coming up that the videos are becoming very long. So we had to cover a particular topic in that one go, could not have broken it. But now section A I'm ending here. So this is part 1 of the video we are recording today. The part 2, which will cater to the writing section, will follow just after that. So please take care of that and go through it properly. Thank you and have a nice day.